Glad you could join us. And in our very first story, stop behaving like crocodiles. Volta chiefs, one Volta, one people. Do we still have chiefs in Volta? This is how a group calling itself Asogli Youth, who in collaboration with Volta Youth are protesting the intended split of the Volta region into two, with the potential split. Now, the Justice Brobe Commission has already heard petitioners asking for division of the region, and talks are underway. The new region will be known as Oti Region. Since last year, there have been a series of agitation from youth groups and chiefs for and against the planned division of the region. Here's one of the leaders of this morning's demonstration speaking to Joy News.
The refusal of us, we oppose the division of the Volta region to create the Oti region. We are opposed to it, and it should never happen. That is not the best way that it should be. There are other better ways of developing than splitting people into pieces, splitting them on ethnic background. We are against all those kind of edits, and then we want them to insist on the decentralization rather, because we know by entrenching the decentralization process, we will be better developed than splitting us into various groups on ethnic grounds. We are opposed to it. The Volta region is a one land, it's a land. We are a people, and we shouldn't be divided into pieces. So we are really opposed to the redemarcation of the Volta region to create the Oti land from it.
So what if the authorities refuse to listen to your plea? What are you going to do?
No, I believe they are a listening government. I believe in our government. I believe that whoever is the president now is chosen by God, and then we should all rally behind him.
Let's get on to the phone lines now and speak with Joy News' Ivy Asogli, who has been following the protesters for the latest. Hello, Ivy. Where are the protesters now, and what are they doing?
Currently, they are gathered at the Volta Regional Coordinating Council to present the petition to the Volta Regional Minister. But right now, the regional minister himself is not around, so they are going to present it to the deputy minister. So that is what is happening now. Earlier on, they were at the Agbogomefia's Palace, Fabia's Palace, to present the petition to him. So right now, they are at the VRCC.
Ivy, you are in the Volta region with these men, young men and women. Would you say their views reflect the general views of the people of the Volta region?
Well, according to most of the residents who are not here, we spoke to earlier on, that they are also happy about the demonstration. Yes, they want Volta region to remain united, to be together and not divided. Instead, all they want is development.
Right. Thank you very much, Ivy Asogli, for that report. Now, moving on, the Roads and Highways Ministry intends cancelling and re-awarding some road contracts in the central region. Sector Minister Kwesi Amoakwata, who toured some projects in the region, was upset with the poor work done so far. A good number of the roads in the region have been abandoned for several years, causing lots of inconvenience for commuters. The minister has thus instructed his men responsible to abrogate and re-award those contracts. Richard Kojoyako traveled with the minister and reports.
The Roads and Highways Minister inspected ongoing road projects at the Ewutu Senya East and West constituencies. They are seen for Chufu Prasu Road, the Chufu Prasu Dunkanofin Road, the Cape Coast to Chufu Prasu Road, and the Dunkanofin to Obuasi roads. These roads have been labeled as some of the worst roads in the country, hindering productivity. According to the Roads and Highways Minister, Kwesi Amoakwata, he will liaise with all agencies that should be working on the country's roads to act with the speed of light to ensure that the citizenry get value for their taxes. He is thus directed that some contracts that have been awarded but the contractors are failing to execute the contract be abrogated and re-awarded to bring relief to the people.
I find it unacceptable. This contract, as I am told, was awarded in 2011, and the road is in a terrible condition, and this stretch even houses the immigration service training school.
Yes, and there's fire service office.
And the fire service, station as well. It's a very important road, and the entire stretch from Asinfosu to Krifu Praso, is a very important road, and I cannot allow this condition to continue. I am therefore directing you, as the minister, to put in place arrangements to terminate these first 8 kilometers awarded to Madara in 2011 and repackage the road, taking into consideration every single aspect necessary that should come into the scope of works.
Central Regional Minister Kwame Nadankan appealed to the Roads and Highways Minister to help construct some roads that have been left unattended to for years to bring relief to the people.
Now I am asking my deputy, in fact he has a job to do today, but I've instructed him that please be with the minister. I want him to take you across a certain route from Praso. There's the Ewisem Road, which goes through Chichire to Dunkwa. If you don't go by Ayase, you go by Ewisem. And it cuts across, if you, I may say, 4 constituencies. Because the Incha West and the Incha East are connected. And then through this Ewisem Road, it goes across Asan Central and then to Fuetimukwa. That if that was done, this whole line through Ayase could easily be cut off. And it will serve as easy connecting line for these constituencies.
The Minister for Roads and Highways indicated that government was going to release 250 million Ghana cedis to contractors before ending of the month of March to motivate contractors that have abandoned their projects to move back to site to continue working on the country's roads. According to him, the NPP government has paid over 2 billion Ghana cedis to contractors upon assumption of office and would do everything to fix the deplorable road networks in the country. Richard Kwejonya-Akon, Joy News, Cape Coast.
Now, moving on, there's an occurrence at every Independence Day parade that is yet to be fully addressed. Scores of school children and even security officers collapse due to what the ambulance service has constantly attributed to dehydration. The anticipation to be part of the parade soon wanes when their limbs become too weak to carry on. At this year's 61st Independence Day parade, Joy News' Hannah Odame had to cut short her live report during the march past to focus the camera on the parade casualties. Here's her report.
61 years of independence and Ghana is talking beyond aid. That is the theme for this year's celebration. Amidst the march past, ongoing behind me, the taekwondo, the speeches, they are all reminders. Oh, one just fell. Woo! You can just see one just fell here. And as you can see, most of them keep falling. Immediately they finish their march as a sign of accomplishment. They just fall. Immediately they get to the edge of the stairs. And the fire service, the police, the ambulance service, they are all here to lend them a helping hand, to give them the immediate first aid they need to ensure that they are properly taken care of. So let me get the right report. As the personnel kept running and moving about to care for those who are falling, I checked on those who are being taken care of. So as you can see, this is a combined effort of the Ghana Red Cross, the ambulance service, the police service, and the fire service to ensure that all these people who fell are given the best of attention and care before they leave this place to their various homes. Some of them are getting better, while some of them, their sick conditions, they will have to be taken care of extra. You can see that additional first aid is being given to these particular students because I am not a health expert, but you can see that they are really breathing very hard. Their sugar levels are being taken because she needs extra oxygen. The oxygen mask has been put on her. So what happened? What was her situation?
We realized that the blood pressure was low and the SpO2, that's the oxygen saturation. So we put her on oxygen for a while. We also administered the glucose to boost the sugar level. Okay, but now that we checked, we're getting some positive results.
I was in the midst of my reports when I saw a lot of them collapsing. So let's compare what happened here this year to last year, for instance. What was the response? What was the level last year?
Yeah, last year we were faced with more tax than this year.
So as he's telling us what's going on, we have just seen that one of the officers from the fire service has just collapsed, and so we'll quickly go there and take that information.
Now, even the strong and trained security personnel could not stand the heat.
So we come back to our interview, in that this will continue year in and year out. Well, they will come, stand under the sun and ensure that they march past and all of that. What differently can be done to prevent the levels, the numbers that collapse every year?
I think some of the activities will be shortened. We can take water, so maybe there could be some measures, like if you are thirsty, you can come in and drink water and go back. Because as the weather change, you know, climate change, so we have to modify our activities at the square. That way we will all be able to help each other. If not, then we have to start the program very early, probably by 7 o'clock. So by 11 o'clock we are done.
From the Independence Square in Accra, my name is Hannah Odame for Joy News.
You're still watching Joy News today. Now, a lot of these incidents have been reported over across the country, with some of them being denied. But moving on, in the Wasa East District, the district chief executive is being reported to have paused his speech, to have paused the reading of the speech because he felt uncomfortable whilst he was reading it yesterday. He could not continue the speech. But this trend is generating a lot of public discussion on the creativity of events planners to think outside the box, and it will be innovative. And be innovative in the way the Sith March is marked going forward. Is it that as a country we are waiting for a fatal incident before we start thinking? Let's try and get some thoughts of the chair of the Ghana 60 Planning Committee, Mr. Ken Amankwa, on the subject. Good afternoon, sir. Many thanks for your time. Mr. Mankwa, do you agree that as a country we need to rethink the way Sith March is marked yearly?
Hello?
Mr. Mankwa, yes, you're on there. We want to know if you agree that the way Sith March is celebrated should be, changed.
We should rethink the way we celebrate Sith March.
Right, yeah.
Why?
Well, in view of the various incidents that have been occurring, particularly in terms of collapse of some students and some military personnel, security personnel.
This incident, to my recollection, doesn't be happening so often. I don't know, maybe I wasn't in the country.
35 students fainted in Accra this year.
How many?
35.
35?
Yes.
Well, that's quite alarming.
Yes, some regions reported about 70.
But not very surprising, considering the fact that the weather was unusually hot, extremely hot weather. And as you did in your intro, maybe we should have to rethink the whole parade and then march past. The thing is, we have an aesthetically pleasing environment in the form of the square, the Black Star Square in the pavilion. It's a tourist picture postcard, tourist attraction, and purposely built for this type of parade. Unfortunately, our weather, very often wouldn't allow us to use the facility as it was going to be, and so causing a lot of these faintings and all that during parades. If you ask me personally, I think that maybe we should consider moving this parade to over 4 p.m. in the evening. But again, that is to recognize that there might also be security implications for such a large gathering, where we are hosting a number of dignitaries, foreign dignitaries.
Some have even gone, pardon me, sir. Some have even gone ahead to suggest that perhaps the entire March past should not be held.
Should not be held.
Right.
Right, but that's the crown jewel. That's the crown jewel of the whole celebration. You know, that's the most important, but the epicenter of the whole celebration. If you remove it, it's like taking the heart out of any normal living being. You know. Then what else? If you take the parade out, what else do we see? You know.
But what is the essence of the parade and the gathering, really?
The essence is to give, to show off our military might, our military strength, you know, to our neighbors, and to give confidence to the military that they come out in their full force. We know that they are around us. They are protective guards. That any time some country, I don't know whether it will be possible in this era, there's to attack us. Well, they'll be there with us now to protect and defend us. That is just the purpose. It's something which is traditional, which has been there for a very long time. And if at this stage, because of yesterday's incidents where a lot of people have printed and all that you want us to, you know, remove it entirely, that will be filleting, you know, the heart out of a very substantive ceremony.
So you believe, sir, that we cannot let it go because of its symbolic value?
Well, unless we are prepared to think about something else in replacement.
Right. Thank you very much, Mr. Kenamankwa. He is the chairman of the Ghana 60 Planning Committee. You're still watching Joy News today. I am Daniel Daze. A lot more stories coming up, but stories gone by so far. We have taken you to the Volta region, where a group of young people have embarked on a peaceful march to protest the planned division of that region to create the new Oti region. Still up ahead, residents of Tefle and surrounding communities in the Volta region demand repair of Sogakope Bridge after 2 lives were lost. And there's more to come in this bulletin. Stay with us.